torture chamber against him.
Feel his vehicle in your minds. Feel it.
No!
Revenge yourselves upon him. The architect of your pain.
No, no!
Doctor, we've got to do something!
Hannah!
Now! Attack! Attack Valentine! Let your hate flow through you!
No! What is happening to him? His skin! Look at his skin! It's horrible!
Quickly, Tyler, get out of that thing.
Hannah! I can't! The whole thing's burning with raw energy! Hannah! Doctor!
I'm afraid she's gone. The final assault was too much for her.
Oh, Hannah. Is it finished, Doctor?
Far from it. It's too late to help these others, but I must stop this ship from leaving. You go!
We can't leave without you! Go! Come, my friends, let's away from this hellhole.
I'm not leaving, Doctor.
What?
Well, it wouldn't be cricket, would it?
All right. All right, make yourself useful. Help me to key in an overload sequence.
What is it, Doctor? There he is. We must wait for him. And Master Turlo. Wait! Here they are! Down! Down!
Get down!
Fine potatoes! Fine!
Oh, my poor Hannah. Yes, I should have been able to save her.
She knew what she was up against, Doctor. She was on a mission.
And it was successful. Carthok of Deolodus is no more.
And London is... Doctor, thanks to you.
Well, well. Quite an adventure, Doctor. Where next for you and Master Turlo?
Ah, well, that's just the point, you see. We never can tell.
How awful for you.
Not really. It's half the fun.
And what are you, gentlemen?
Well, we would be honoured to enroll Dr. Holywell here at the Diabola Club.
I have to admit, I did put in a good word for you, Dr. Holywell.
What say you, Samuel?
If I were you, I'd stick to Snap in the future.
And now it's the welcome return of Colin Baker in Doctor Who.
You don't know where we are.
Of course I know exactly where we are.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We're in the TARDIS.
That's not what I meant.
That's what you said. Where we are, you said. I did think it was a rather redundant question, even from you. Now, let's see where the TARDIS has landed.
Not much to see on the scanner. It's dark.
Dim, anyway.
Don't look at me like that when you say dim.
Hmm?
Fothergill, can't you keep the light on the lock for just a second?
Sorry, I was watching the camera.
It'll be watching you if you don't hold the light still. Ah, that should do it. Why is it they have to make museums seem as old as the relics inside?
Like still standing pieces at the checkmate moment, we sigh with thanks and disappointment, both, that the game is ended. And in that fragile, candle flame brief instant, Our aspirations, hopes, and dreams of empire die with a drifting smoke.
Vistine Crane. Outgoing President Carlos Bilton described Crane as...
Off. The greatest actor of the modern age. Such perfect pitch and inflection. Listen to the way he emphasizes the chess motif.
Yes, it's perfect, isn't it, Curator Ganton?
Well, almost perfect, Mr. Mapton. Almost perfect.
Almost.
Oh, you play a sentence beginning, and in that fragile.
And in that fragile, candle flame brief instant, our aspirations, hopes, and dreams of empire die with a drifting smoke.
You notice that he elides flame brief rather than candle flame.
You think you could do better?
Oh, no. No, not for a moment.
Did you ever see him... I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. Did you?
Oh, he shunned the visual media. Well, you probably know that. No video, no celluloid. Only a few photos. Do you think he would have become president?
Oh, I don't know who would have beaten him. I'm not sure who we have left in the election worth voting for.
Beth Purnell?
Well, we are fortunate to have Crane's own personal recordings, especially with the tribute broadcast starting so soon. Everything that Crane recorded is now linked into the archives, catalogued and preserved, integrated into the main database.
A proud moment for you, as curator.
Indeed. The Museum of Oral Antiquities is enriched by the addition, just as the world is poorer at the reason for it. It will help your researches into Crane as well.
This sound suite of Crane's will be useful too, for my research. It's very like the standard editing suites you have in the sound galleries, except in green. I'm sorry, I don't suppose you've ever seen...
Oh, I know about colour. There are shades of sound as well as light. It is an emphasis, a nuance, inflection. Run that sentence again, but raise the pitch by 20%.
And in that fragile, candle flame brief instant, our aspirations, hopes, and dreams of empire die with a drifting smoke.
All right, you've made your point. You didn't need to make the greatest actor of all time sound like a petulant child.
Just a demonstration. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Curator. I'm tired.
It is late. I'll switch off the alarms for you.
There's no need. I still have some reading to do. If I may, I'll work through till morning.
Again? Very well. But please excuse me, old men need their sleep.
It's a dim and dusty corridor, Doctor. Can't we just leave?
Leave? Leave? You mean go away and never know? Wander for all eternity and never know where we were? What might have been? What was to come?
Don't shout, Doctor. There might be...
Shout? I don't shout. People who have to resort to shouting to get what they want are merely demonstrating the inherent paucity of their argument. It's something that I never...
All right, Doctor!
Point made, I think. Now, let's go this way.
The game is ended. And in that fragile, candle flame brief instant, our aspirations, hopes, and dreams of empire die with a reception. A Polak sniper, silhouetted against the soldier. Khmer, once handsome and brave as you. If you look, you can look into the seeds of time. My fair weather friends, I greet you from the grave, from within the hardest of hearts. Together, we can make this country a better place fit, a country we can all be rightly proud to call our own.
A sound gallery for the real. Just what we need.
What do we have to do, Dent?
We can access all the sound files from here. It's keyed to the voice patterns of authorised personnel.
So, we need to get authorised.
I have a one-time non-traceable software patch for that. Now, If you've got the file IDs, we can begin.
Here's the list. The changes are marked.
Computer, retrieve file Crane 973/15.
Together, we can make this country a better place. A place fit to live in.
How do we make the changes?
We sample the voice print from the sound files in the archive and generate the replacements. It shouldn't take long.
Where our children can be properly educated, our sick well
Is it on the recording?
Our enterprises flourish.
No,
We have lived
it's not
far
showing
too
up in the
long
waveform.
under the
Look at the
spectre
graph.
of crime,
Computer,
under the fear of
pause it there.
bloodshed.
There's someone outside in the corridor.
Have they heard us?
They'd hardly be whistling if they had. See who it is, Fotherell. Make sure they're leaving. Over here, quickly!
Dent? How did you...
Come on, hurry! Over here, by the entrance to the security archive.
I thought you... How did you get...
Never mind, just get over here.
What's it? Hello? Where are you? Dent? Who's there? You're not Dent.
No.
No.
No, I'm not.
Stop it. I can't. Stop the noise.
Warning. Proximity alert. This is unstable.
Who are you? What are you doing? What do you want?
Security measures active.
I can't.
This is your final.
Go there.
Security measures active. Stand away. Lethal charge will be... Security archive door alarm. Security archive door alarm.
All right. Just tell me what's happening.
The security archive door has registered a physical presence.
It's electrocuted someone?
Security measures deployed. Security forces alerted. Officer Barclay responding.
What was that?
What was what?
That noise.
You're hearing things?
Yes, Doctor. I heard a noise, like a rustling sound.
Really? I'd have thought rustlers would have made more noise than that. Ah, let's have a peep in here.
It's probably locked.
Wrong.
It's just shelves.
Some sort of archive, by the look of it. I wonder what's in these drawers.
CDs, tapes of all sorts. What are these?
Dusty. Very dusty optical spheres. Audio recordings, I'd say, looking at the density of the holographic tracks. Let's find somewhere a bit cleaner.
The TARDIS is a bit cleaner.
Where's your sense of adventure, Perry? Where's your curiosity and longing for knowledge?
It's longing to leave. What's that?
Hearing things again?
There's someone talking.
I think you're right, Perry. It's coming from through there.
Doctor, do you think we should... Talk to yourself, Perry.
No single man is
Fotherell?
greater than his policies.
Who are you?
No single
Hello there.
man is able
I
to...
Off! Computer, erase changelog.
I'm sorry, is there a...
Out of the way!
Hey!
Well, really, she could have said excuse me.
What was she up to, Doctor?
No good, I'll be bound. Come on, Perry. Let's go and see where she's gone, eh?
Slow down, Doctor. She'll be miles away by now.
You're out of condition. I wonder why she ran off like that. Let's try along here. Oh, what a mess. Just look at that.
Doctor, I don't think that...
Perry, I have a better sense of direction than a homing pigeon. Carry on along here. Past the dead body.
Sense of trouble, more like it. Is he really dead?
As a dodo. Or a doornail. Or a... Hello?
Hello?
No. Look at this mess. This table was by that door, and these things were on it.
So he fell against the table?
So it would seem. That's hardly what killed him. Electric shock?
Maybe whatever did it is through this door. Look at his hands.
No, Berry! Keep away from the door. Move away right now.
Why?
Well, don't you see? This poor man fell against the table and then blundered into the door. He fell back from it and landed here. Yes. Now, hang on. Here we are.
What are you doing with that?
Just as I thought. There's a strong electrical current running through the framework of this door. Some sort of security measure, I suspect.
Electric current? Enough to kill?
Evidently. So the only question now is, did he fall, or
was he pushed?
Fotherell. Fotherell. Answer me, will you? What is that? Fotherell, I'm in one of the sound galleries. Security has arrived. Fotherell, can you hear me? Useless thing.
We didn't kill him.
So, you think he was killed?
What I think
I was addressing the young lady.
Sorry.
Well, yes, that is no. He's dead, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he's certainly dead. And since you seem to have opportunity, let's discuss motive, shall we?
The door killed him, we didn't.
Well, I have to admit, I would expect murderers to adopt more subdued clothing and a less boisterous approach.
Boisterous? Must mean you, Perry.
Would you come this way, please?
I thought you didn't suspect us.
Not of murder, perhaps, but there's always breaking and entering, and at the very least, you're witnesses.
So, this is a museum?
This is the Museum of Oral Antiquities.
Museum of Oral Antiquities, eh? Sounds interesting.
Is that a joke, Doctor?
If you like.
Everything oral. All sounds or recordings are stored here. The security service even has its own archive in the building, protected by an electrified door, of course.
I take your point. So, what's inside? Favourite interrogation tapes, that sort of thing?
Actually, yes. Also wiretaps, intercepted phone calls, surveillance data. Gantman will tell you.
Is that you, Officer Barclay?
Yes, Curator Gantman.
Hello, you must be the curator of this excellent establishment. I can't tell you how much Perry and I are looking forward to a guy...
Who is this?
I had thought that perhaps you'd tell me.
No, I don't know his voice.
Well, what about the woman?
He doesn't know either of us, as we could have told you, if you'd bothered to ask.
Why would I believe you? You were found in a restricted area of a locked building in the middle of the night, standing over a dead body.
Dead body? Not Napton?
Well, perhaps. I'm running an ID check. Who is Napton?
A research student working late, studying the works of Vistine Crane.
We did disturb a young woman in one of the rooms.
She ran off when we arrived.
Not very polite.
And not Miles Napton, then?
What was this woman doing?
Listening to a speech of some sort. Something grand and theatrical from the old school of acting, no doubt. Loud, bombastic. Not my sort of thing, really.
Something about no single man being greater than something.
Do you recognize it, Gantman?
A single man is greater than his policies. It is one of these speeches from Crane's collection. We catalogued it yesterday.
I'm sure it was no single man.
Oh, you misheard.
Perry's right, you know. It was no single man.
Oh, does it matter?
Well, it matters to us if you're saying we're being less than truthful.
It isn't a speech you'd know. It has not been heard for many years, and the script is not in the public domain. Retrieve file Crane 091/37. Play from a single man,
Phrase not found in file.
Told you so.
But that's it. But I...
Oh, let me try. You listening over there? Play from No Single Man.
No single man is greater than his policies. No single man is able to...
I don't understand. My sense of smell has faded with age, so sound is all I have left now. Sound and memory.
Well, never mind. It seems that we have adequately established our alibi, so if we're all finished, then I think it's time...
I'll have you driven back into town and take a statement.
Town?
Time we got to the bottom of this mystery.
What?
We need to stay near the TARDIS. Changed sound files, break-ins, mysterious intruders running amok, and a dead body. Oh, yes. You need our help here, and no mistake.
Your help? I should think that's the last thing I need.
The first thing to do is establish how the speech should go, and then we'll know if it's been altered, or whether Mr. Gantman's memory isn't as good as he... remembers.
But if it's the only copy and there's no script...
Oh, Purnell will be here soon with Stengard.
Sorry?
Beth Purnell was Mr. Crane's agent. Even before he went into politics, she always worked very closely with him.
So she may recall the correct wording.
But why would anyone alter it?
Why, indeed. A mystery.
Beth Purnell and her producer, Mr. Stengard, are coming over to set up the first broadcast of Crane's commemorative speeches. They'll be here soon.
All right, Doctor. We'll ask Purnell. But before we get carried away with the academic questions, let's not forget that a man has died here.
No. No, indeed.
Yes?
Visual identification of body now available. Name, Gough Fotherell. No previous criminal record. Further details available.
All right, enough for now.
What's that noise?
Feedback. Static, useless thing.
Hello? Is that Gough Fotherell? Hello? Is that Gough Fotherell?
Can I speak to Helva if she's there? About 8.
I wonder if you can make a meeting about 8. I wonder if you can make a meeting, yes.
You know who this is?
Yes.
Good. Then listen. You will meet Dent at the park outside the Museum of Oral Antiquities. Dent knows what to do. Dent at the park outside the Museum of Oral Antiquities. You know who this is. You know who this is. Who this is. Museum of Oral Antiquities. Museum of Oral Antiquities. Knows what to do. Dent knows what to do. Dent. Then listen.
I must go and let in Purnell and Stengard.
Go with him, Perry, see what you can find out about this place.
Right, Doctor. Shall I come with you?
Oh, there's no need. I can find my way.
I didn't mean it. I'd like to.
Oh, very well. That is if...
Oh, that's fine, so long as she doesn't try to leave.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Hello? Fotherell, is that you?
Oh, here.
What happened to you? Stop playing the fool for a minute and tell me what's happening out there.
No, you tell me first.
Tell you what?
Tell me who. Tell me why.
You know who this is.
Is that you? Here?
You will meet Dent at the park outside the Museum of Oral Antiquities. Dent knows what to do.
Fotherell? Who is this?
Dent knows what to do. Dent.
What did you do, Dent? Tell me.
No, I'm getting out of here.
You know who this is. You know who this is. You know who this is.
Dent knows.
Get away from me.
Dent knows. Tell me who this is. Tell me.
No, never.
Who's there?
Can't see anyone.
Who is that? I'll call Barclay.
Ganman?
Yes. Barclay, there's someone...
You know who this is. Dent knows, Dent knows. Tell me who this is. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Dent knows, Dent knows. Tell me who this is. Tell me. Tell me.
What's happening down there, Perry?
I can't, Doctor. I don't know. That noise!
Tell me who I am. Tell me.
What's happening?
Perry, are you alright?
Tell me who I am. Tell me who
What's
I am.
going on? Keep away from me! No! No! No!
Dent knows. Tell me who this is. Tell me. Tell me.
What's happening down there, Perry?
I can't, Doctor. I don't know. That noise!
Tell me who I am. Tell me.
What's happening?
Perry, are you alright?
Tell me who I am. Tell me who I
What's
am.
going on? Keep away from me! No! No!
Perry? Perry! Ganman, what's happening down there? What was that noise?
The intruder. A woman. Perry has run after her, I think.
All right, you go and meet Purnell. Call back when you know more. That noise, Doctor. People shouting. Some distortion, perhaps, from the intercom, you think?
No. No, I don't. There was more than that.
Well, we'll ask Gatman when he gets back with Purnell.
You say this Purnell was an associate of Crane's?
Vistine Crane was the greatest actor of our age. Beth Purnell was his agent for a while.
And she's coming here for what exactly?
Well, some of Crane's speeches and performances are to be broadcast as a tribute. Gantman has the files here. Purnell is coming to supervise.
And this Stengard?
Oh, he's the producer. He'll handle the technical stuff, liaise with the radio station, play the files into the network at the right time.
So I take it that since this is a tribute, Crane is dead?
Last week, just before announcing he was running for president.
Ah.
He was expected to name Purnell as his running mate in next month's election.
I see. But he died before making his announcement. I'm beginning to see why his speeches might be important.
Just along here, Miss Purnell, Mr. Stengard. It's not far.
I'll need to set up the studio link.
Well, you can do that from any sound gallery.
Oh, it's you. I thought...
Who is this?
Did you find her?
No, she must have...
Curator Gantman, I asked you a question.
Officer Barclay will explain.
No single man is greater than his policies. No single man is able to encapsulate the whole in an individual.
Off?
Well, Miss Purnell, has it been altered?
I don't know, I'm afraid. And I'm not sure I understand why this is important.
Neither do we, but we must explore every avenue. Leave no stone unturned. Be relentless in our diligence. Thorough in all our investigations.
Another thing I don't understand is your part in this.
We're,
The Doctor and Miss Perry are assisting us in our investigations.
A phrase that is usually applied to the suspects rather than the investigators, surely.
Look, aren't we straying from the point a little? The point being, Mr. Stengard, that something very strange is happening here. And the one piece of tangible evidence we have is that these speeches have been changed. Changed for a reason.
May have been changed, Doctor. Nothing is yet proven.
Then let's prove it.
Well said, Perry.
I assume you've checked the log.
Log? What log?
What log?
Every file access is logged for reasons of security and integrity.
And have you checked it?
Disregarding the file we just heard, identify the last Vistine Crane file retrieved from archive.
Previous file retrieved. Crane 117/04.
It's the one Napton retrieved earlier.
Oh, can we hear it?
Retrieve that file, play from Like Still Standing Pieces.
Like still standing pieces at the checkmate moment, we sigh with thanks and disappointment, both that the game is ended, and in that fragile candle flame brief instant...
But stop it there.
What is it?
It has changed.
You don't think that perhaps you're getting just a little obsessive here?
You're sure?
It's not the words, but the inflection, the pacing, the way it is said.
Ridiculous. How can you possibly tell?
Well, Neptune and I listened to it earlier. I commented on the way it was spoken, the way it was paced.
And now it's changed.
Tell me, why would anyone go to all that trouble?
Oh, it would be easy enough to do with the right knowledge and given a little time.
But why break into this museum, disable the security systems, risk discovery and arrest, just to change the inflection of a phrase?
Intriguing. You know, I think there's more to this than meets the ear.
Now it's changed. Did you know Crane well?
Why would anyone go...
I was to have been vice president when he was elected.
If he was elected, you mean?
When he was elected, there was no other credible candidate.
Will you run anyway?
That's what the press has been asking for the past week, without much success.
I think it is insensitive to even consider such things so soon after the unfortunate event.
No, I quite understand, but I bet you're considering it anyway. Just a teensy-weensy bit, eh?
How dare you?
Oh, come on. Don't tell me it's not even crossed your mind. Why settle for measly vice president or drop out altogether when this unfortunate event, as you call it, has given you a platform of your own?
When I'm elected, it will be to implement the policies and ideas that Vistine Crane stood for. It will be with the love the people held for him behind me, with their support and in his memory.
So you are standing. Thought so. Broadcasting these speeches of Crane's must be a great help. Well, if you're planning to ride to victory on his posthumous coattails, as it were.
What do you mean?
He means it's in your interest as well as ours to find out what's going on.
I assume there's some sort of endorsement of you in his speeches as well as of his general policies.
Crane names me as his partner in his candidature speech.
Except that he died before he gave that speech.
Crane rehearsed and recorded everything many times before the actual performance.
Even his political speeches? Well, I suppose you'd know.
The rehearsal version of his candidature speech will be broadcast as the first of the tributes.
Really? When?
Later today.
But only if I get things set up. I must get started. Excuse me.
And would I be right in assuming also that later today, the memory of this unfortunate event will have faded enough for you to consider offering yourself to the people? You certainly seem to have all the right qualities for a successful politician.
I'll just see if Stengard needs any help.
Oh, yes. I am always with you. We still have things to discuss.
Get away from me! Keep away! You killed Fotherell. You won't kill me!
Am I dead?
Stop it! Just stop it!
Just tell me who this is. That's all. Simple. Who is this? Tell me. Tell me whose voice this is!
Get away from me! Keep away!
Run all you like. You can't escape. I can travel at the speed of sound.
Who is that? What's going on?
Help me! You have to help me, Stengard!
You've screwed up big time, Dent. You know that.
Just help me!
Oh, I'll help you.
Stengard! What's going on?
No, Dent, you wait here. I think I found your intruder.
Good. Excellent.
The voices! You have to protect me from the voices!
Voices? What are you on about?
You must have heard them. On at me all the time. Voices. Whispers. Oh, you can't escape from them. As fast as the speed of sound.
If you ask me, she's completely flipped.
You have to save me from them. From the voices. Please, you have to!
So, where is she now?
For some reason, she insisted on somewhere soundproofed. I've locked her in one of the sound galleries.
As fast as the speed of sound. She actually said that.
Well, these voices are in her head.
It's no wonder she can't escape from them.
I don't think so. Voices. Perry, what did you see when we heard those noises, those sounds?
Well, nothing. There was nothing there. Just a woman running and shouting and screaming. What do you think it is, Doctor?
An invisible noise. A sentient sound source? Is that possible?
Is what possible? Is he always so helpful and forthcoming?
I'm afraid so. It's very annoying.
You know, I think what we have here is a life form that has managed to modulate itself as a sound wave.
A sound wave?
And it can manipulate that wave, make it any shape, any sound it likes.
You mean it can imitate voices?
Any sound at all, potentially.
Like that whispering we heard when we arrived here.
Yes. You know, that could have been it, Perry.
I don't believe it. A sound creature? That's ridiculous.
It fits the facts. Have you got a better theory?
Okay. Let's say we adopt this theory until we have. Why would such a creature come here?
To a museum of oral antiquities. I should think it feels at home here, in its native habitat.
Maybe it was born here or whatever.
And what do we do about it?
We make sure it doesn't get out. I assume this place is soundproofed.
You mean this room?
I mean the whole museum.
Yes, it is.
Then it must be sealed. No external communications, in or out. We must leave it no avenue for escape.
Communications? Doctor, you don't really think that this creature could escape down a telecoms line or along a radio wave?
Oh, yes, I do. If it's a sound wave, it can get out through the tiniest crack, the thickest wall, or through any medium which carries sound.
Then you're suggesting we cut ourselves off completely? Absolute isolation? Purnell won't like that.
Where's she gone?
She's helping Stengard set up her precious broadcasts. How long do we have to stay here, isolated?
As long as it takes to find out what it's up to. Now, where's Gantman now that we need him?
I thought you'd be here with Crane's equipment. I was concerned about you, Mr. Napton.
I'm fine. Really, Curator. I was working late. I must have fallen asleep. Missed all the excitement.
I'm surprised the noise did not wake you.
I did hear something. Curator.
Yes, Mr. Napton.
I would prefer to be left in peace, to get on with my research. I'm making good progress, you see. Interruptions.
I understand.
I don't mind speaking with you. I find our conversations immensely useful. But these investigators...
You would prefer not to get too involved with them? Or Miss Purnell?
Thank you. I'm sure they all have enough to worry about as it is.
I should be getting back. They will need my help.
Do you mind telling us mere mortals what you intend, Doctor?
As soon as Curator Gantman gets back, then we could begin to trawl through the archive.
Looking for evidence of this creature.
Or the creature itself. It must live somewhere.
You think it's responsible for the changed files?
I imagine our intruders changed some of them. It would be useful to know which.
The woman is still pretty incoherent.
Must be here for a reason, purpose. Somewhere in these archives is some clue to what the thing is, where it came from.
And what it wants.
You know who this is?
Yes.
Good. Then listen. You will meet Dent at the park outside the Museum of Oral Antiquities. Dent knows what to do.
Computer, edit file.
Unauthorized voice print. Your command cannot be executed.
Edit file. Replay that sentence 10% faster.
You will meet Dent at the park outside the Museum of Oral Antiquities.
And again, removing background distortion.
You will meet Dent at the park outside the Museum of Oral Antiquities.
Analyze the voice scrambler used and restore the voice to normal.
Absolute integrity cannot be guaranteed. A 20% error margin is inherent in the modulation.
That is acceptable playback.
You know who this is.
Yes.
Good. Then listen. You will meet Dent at the park outside the Museum of Oral Antiquities. Dent knows what to do.
Beth her knell.
Almost done. We're patched through to the studio now, into the network. Once we get the satellite slot, we can go ahead with the transmission.
Good, very good.
That speech from the end of The Good Soldiers.
The candle flame one.
It wasn't on the list. Did you put it...
Of course not.
I don't know what Dent was playing at then.
If it was Dent, what if someone else is altering Crane's speeches, independently of Dent's efforts?
But why? And how do we find out?
Oh, this is all going to pieces. If Dent talks to... You need to ask her what's going on.
Now, hang on. I need to ask her.
You're worried about your own skin rather than what we would achieve.
Too right I am. And it's time you started worrying about yours, too.
There's another consideration. We all need to come away from this with our reputations untarnished.
I agree.
But Dent is already tarnished, and she knows too much.
What are you suggesting?
Stengard, I'm a person of ideals. Of vision. Now that Fothergill is dead, there's just Dent left who might detract from those ideals. Might shatter that vision. You understand our problem, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. I understand your problem.
Any word from the doctor yet?
He said he'd call when he finds Gantman. Maybe that's him now.
Barclay here.
Oh, good. Hello, Barclay. You've sealed the museum?
Yes, Doctor. As you suggested, not the slightest sound can get in or out now.
Yes. Well, I've had second thoughts about that.
Really?
Yes. I don't think there's any need for such extreme measures.
Why? What have you discovered?
In fact, I think you can open the doors and restore the communications links.
Are you sure, Doctor? What if this creature...
There is no creature. Sorry, I was wrong.
Wrong? That'll be a first.
You mean he's never wrong?
I mean, he never admits it.
So I'll leave that with you then, Barclay.
I think I managed to work out which recordings have changed. Gantman has...
Doctor!
But you're... Sorry?
Barclay, are you still there?
Oh, very clever. Having fun down there, are you?
Doctor, is that you?
Yes, it is. What are you after? What do you want? Gone. Broken connection.
I thought it was you.
It sounded just like you, Doctor.
Clever, isn't it?
Did you find Gantman?
No. I was going to try calling him on this intercom thing.
You press the button.
Yes, thank you. I can manage, actually.
That button. There.
Yes. Thank you. Gantman, are you there? Where is there?
Oh, it's linked to Crane's sound suite.
Hello, is that the doctor?
Yes, who's that?
Miles Neptune, research student.
Gantman mentioned him.
The curator was here, but he's just left. I think he's on his way back to you.
Good. I'll meet Gantman halfway. Maybe come and take a look at this sound suite thing?
Right, Doctor. Perhaps I'll see you soon then.
Coming, Perry?
Sure, why not? Let's go hunt the creature.
I'll wait here in case you miss him on the way.
Stengard. Thank God. Get me out of here.
Of course.
But not through the museum. Have you... voices?
Oh, don't worry about the voices. You won't hear them again.
Why? What?
Strange. I was there when Barclay searched you. But somehow he missed this knife. These voices must have really screwed you up. I mean, to drive you to this.
Crane wants to go over
his speeches. I'm
not sure.
I don't agree with everything he says.
I think it is time to make it clear that
We can't tolerate that.
I know that. But try telling Crane. He's obsessed with me. Decides to announce his candidature.
With you as his vice president?
I think he's decided
Not
that...
now. Not on the phone. We'll talk about it when you get back.
To announce his candidature.
With you as his vice president? You as his vice president? You as his vice president?
I think he's decided that... Well done, Sterngard.
I don't want your praise. If it had to be done, it was better to do it quickly.
We are so close, so very close. We can't fail now. Think of how much better it will be when this is finished. For everyone. Just a little while more, just a few more...
Deaths? No. No, it can't be worth this.
It's a bit late for second thoughts, Sterngard. If we stop now, then it is all for nothing. But if we have the courage to see this through, then everyone is the better for it. It is worth the cost, worth the sacrifices that must be made.
Is it?
You know it is. Keep your head and we'll succeed. We can't fail now. Have faith, have courage, and we shall not fail.
Fail. What's that?
An echo, that's all.
So, this is it.
Vistine Crane's sound suite. Napton was telling me that I thought he might be here.
Must have beetled off somewhere.
Did Crane record all his performances here?
Oh, he practically lived here for much of his life, and of course he died here.
Died here? With this equipment, are you sure?
Why, Doctor? Is that important?
Important, Perry, important. Of course it's important. That's a frequency modulation input linked to an alpha wave condenser over there, unless I'm very mistaken. Important.
But why?
About that list of altered recordings you got for me.
The computer assembled it by comparing the actual length of the recordings with the length logged in the database. Some are just milliseconds different.
It's quite a diverse set of recordings.
But all of Vistine Crane.
And many of them speeches which now endorse Pennell's policies and support her bid to become president.
You think they didn't support her before they were altered?
I think I'm going to ask her that.
But why would she tell you if she were responsible?
Because she doesn't know what's really happening here.
That's a very serious allegation, Doctor. I hope you have proof for what you're suggesting.
Just between two of us, I don't think I need proof, do I?
What are you implying?
Oh, I'm not interested in whatever scheme you've got going to try to guarantee you get elected. A few altered speeches to make you look good are as nothing in the cosmic scheme of things. But I am interested in your relationship with Vistine Crane.
What's that noise?
It's a sound creature. Aren't you? I know what you are now. You're a waveform modulation of a person, aren't you? Of a person who managed at the point of death to use a frequency modulation input linked to an alpha wave condenser to survive. You cheated death by channeling your brain waves, your thoughts, into another medium, by becoming a sound wave.
You're suggesting that this homicidal creature
is or was Vistine Crane. Vistine Crane. It's a sound creature. Aren't you? I know what you are now. You're a waveform modulation of a person, aren't you? Of a person who managed at the point of death to use a frequency modulation input linked to an alpha wave condenser to survive. You cheated death by channeling your brain waves, your thoughts into another medium by becoming a sound wave.
You're suggesting that this homicidal creature
is or was Vistine Crane.
What? Where's it gone?
If it has gone.
What do you mean?
Intriguing, isn't it? A murderer that could be hiding within any sound, however quiet. The low hum of the air conditioning, the distant hint of a conversation, a foot tapping out the rhythm of a popular song.
What's it doing? What does it want?
That, as they say, is the question.
Revenge?
Revenge on who?
On whom, Perry?
If this creature is Vistine Crane...
It may want revenge on whoever is changing Crane's speeches.
Whomever.
No, whoever.
Crane was fanatically possessive of his work, his performances, and that's why the recordings have never been broadcast before.
Which could be why it killed Fothergill, and why it seems it drove Dent to kill herself.
Or it may just be coincidence. It's a life form composed of sound, after all. It may have arrived here by accident.
Inside Crane's sound suite.
Yes. Tell me, how did Crane die?
You don't know?
I'm asking.
He was under a lot of stress, and he was quite highly strung, emotional.
His heart?
His head. He blew a hole in it.
I was talking to him when it happened. He just shot himself. Dead.
Or rather, not so dead. Reincarnated. Or recast as this rather unpleasant creature.
But how do we stop it, Doctor? Shout at it?
You know, Perry, that's not a bad idea. We might manage to rig up a sound with an opposite modulation. Nullify it with a wave cancellation.
Oh, hardly feasible, Doctor. We would have to know in advance what sound it was going to adopt to manifest itself.
So what do we do? Wait around and hope it goes home?
Goes home.
Sorry, Doctor?
We need to know where it is. Maybe it does have a home. If we can track it to its lair. If any of you hear anything unusual, anything at all, find me and let me know.
Oh, you'll hear us breaking the sound barrier.
Ah, there you are. I'm all set. Now we just have to wait for the transmission slot.
That may not be quite all, Stengard. The Doctor has a theory. A rather worrying theory.
Oh?
I need your help. We have to find out if the speeches have been altered. Whether someone has rewritten our carefully scripted broadcasts.
Who?
Vistine Crane. And we'd better find him, or what he's become. Find him and ask him before he finds us.
The sound suite is where Crane died.
And where the creature was born, so if it has a home, it's here.
Exactly. Somewhere.
I don't see how that helps. The thing could be anywhere inside and we'd never know.
Well, if I can persuade this antiquated thing to examine each file and report any changes...
But it's been changing files all over the place. So is Purnell, if you're right.
Yes, Perry, but if we can actually hear a change being made, if we can detect a change in the sound stored on a file as it occurs...
Then we found the creature.
Exactly. The one thing it can't do is keep absolutely quiet.
It's not the only one.
What was that?
So, what do we do if we find it?
Oh, details. Don't bother with details, Perry. One thing at a time.
And if it doesn't live here, if it's decided to move on?
That should do it. Now, all we have to do is wait until the computer detects a change occurring. Could be a long wait.
Oh, good. I should have brought my travel Scrabble.
With just a few files, we should know almost at once if anything happens. Wouldn't want to try this with the whole archive, though. Be gone before we notice it even. Hello?
What is it, Doctor? The creature? Have you found it?
Perry, do you realise that this is a triple sonic bypass subsystem?
No, Doctor.
Oh, I've always wanted one of them. Ah,
Don't tell me, Doctor. It's a double whammy with extra fries and relish on the side.
No, Perry. I think we might have something here. Let me just access that file. Better keep the volume right down. Don't want it slipping away into the ether.
Have you found it?
Look at the waveforms, Perry. That one is the stored image of the file, and this is the form it's now taking.
They're different. It's changing.
Exactly. Let's just be sure.
Discrepancy between waveforms, 53%.
Now, if I can just reroute the file to backup storage.
Discrepancy between waveforms, 27%.
Doctor, the waveform's changing back. It's getting away.
Not yet, it's not. Hit that switch, will you?
Discrepancy between waveforms, 50%.
Move rather than copy. We don't want to hear what it sounded like.
Hurry! The lines are almost overlapping.
Discrepancy between waveforms.
We want the actual, living, sentient...
6, 5,
Ah.
File backup complete.
Has it gone? Did we lose it?
I think we've got it.
On there. Is that it? A CD?
Holographic imaging, actually, but yes, it's on here.
I assume it's safe.
Yes. Of course it's safe. Just so long as nobody plays the disc.
Well done, Doctor.
Oh, it was nothing.
A mere work of genius from Mr. Modesty here, that's all.
I have a secure disc case in the sound gallery. I'll seal it in there. Give me the disc, please, Doctor.
No, I think perhaps the Doctor should hang on to it. He's the only one who really understands.
Hey!
Oh, careful, please.
Sorry. Here, let me... It's all right, it's not damaged.
Thank you. I'll keep it close to my heart.
We should tell Purnell.
Yes, I'll find her.
And now perhaps Curator Gantman could give us a proper tour of this excellent facility.
Indeed, Doctor, I should be delighted.
I can't tell you how much I've been looking forward to a little look around.
Neither can I.
Clever of you to switch the discs.
They daren't play it, so they'll never know.
Which gives us an interesting dilemma, too.
You mean, how do we find out what it's been up to? How much it knows?
Without playing the disc, without asking it.
Take a risk. Assume everything's fine.
Not an option, Stangard. It could have tampered with the speeches. It could have faked any number of confessions to things we've done and not done.
What are you doing, Purnell? Are you mad? If we play the disc...
Only if there's volume. I've disconnected the audio output channel.
If there's no output, we won't hear what it says.
You understand this equipment. Instruct it to monitor the sound wave as the disc is played.
Of course. It can reconstruct the sound image so we hear the creature as a simulation of the sound wave, not the creature itself. And with the output disconnected, the creature can't escape.
Exactly.
What if it doesn't want to talk?
Oh, it will. I can be very persuasive. Very persuasive.
The systems are constantly indexing and cross-referencing files.
Isn't the TARDIS just down here, Doctor?
That's one of the advantages for the security service keeping their files here too.
So they can cross-reference...
Fascinating. I'm sure it's just down here. I'll catch you up in a minute.
Crane. Can you hear me, Crane? I know it's you in there. Trapped in there.
Nothing. It won't speak to you.
No, there's something. Listen. Come on, Crane. You know who this is.
You know who this is.
I know who this is.
Then listen. You're trapped on an audio disc, and you're not getting out. Not ever. Unless you talk to me. Unless you tell me what I want to know.
What do you want, Beth?
That's better. I want you to tell me what you've been up to. I want to know what changes you've made to the speeches for the broadcast.
Changes. It is not I who alter the speeches. Not I who change the meaning and the message. Not I who seek to deceive.
Forget the sub-theatrical moralizing. What have you done?
You know who this is.
I know who this is. I know what you have done. I know what you aim to achieve. I know how to stop you.
Tell me what you've done, Crane.
No.
Won't tell.
Oh, yes, you will. This sound gallery may not have the latest aural equipment, but there is a crude editor attached to this player. So, let's indulge in some crude editing, shall we?
What are you doing?
See that waveform? That's the crane creature. The doctor says it has to adopt a sound pattern, however quiet, to survive. To live. So if we select a portion from the middle of the wave pattern and delete it.
That's horrible.
Now then, Crane, are you ready to talk to me? Well, if that's how you feel, let's delete a little more of you. How much can you afford to lose, Crane? How much of you do I have to kill before you'll tell me?
Stop it, Beth. It'll die before it tells you anything.
I don't think so. But you're right. I can't delete too much. Don't want to remove its powers of memory or speech. Or sanity. Then let's try something else. How about if I rearrange some of the pattern? Move this bit here, for example. Perhaps stretch this section a little. Maybe add a small reverberation effect here.
On every individual to work within society and not against it. To contribute to society as well as to take from it. Rights of all. Stop it, Beth. For God's sake, stop it.
Not until it tells me what it's done. Tell me, damn you!
We make a good team, don't we, Crane?
Stop that, Crane. You can't use my own words against me.
Do you remember this? Do you remember saying together we could achieve anything with your popularity?
I said stop that!
And I said...
And your what, Purnell? Your medieval ideas about class and society, your sick fantasies about power, your pathetic notion that you are somehow superior, somehow chosen to rule.
We're a team. Shut up. Be quiet. I'll make you be quiet.
A team? Don't you make me laugh. It will never happen.
Beth, stop this. Stop it now. It's inhuman.
If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Get out of here.
You're mad, Beth. You know that. Insane.
We'll see who's insane when this is over.
Hello? Who's there? I'm sure that was a door. Somewhere along here.
Do you think our troubles are over, Doctor?
So far as the creature goes, Purnell is a different matter.
One that you can leave to us. Crane was almost certain to be our next president, so he was already afforded some security, you know.
You mean he was under surveillance?
That's not quite the way I would be allowed to put it, but I checked when Purnell mentioned a recording of the candidature speech, and from the surveillance log, it's pretty clear he never recorded it.
Really?
How interesting.
I can keep going for as long as it takes, can you?
Hello? Anyone? Oh.
What are you doing here?
Shan't tell. Won't tell.
What's going on?
Help. Please help me.
Who was that?
Just a recording.
It was Crane, wasn't it?
One of his best performances.
It sounded... That wasn't a recording, was it? That was the creature.
Come back here!
You've got the disc. Somehow you got the disc from the doctor.
I said come here!
Get off me! Let me go!
I think you've heard too much.
I said get off! Ah! Oh, thank goodness. Purnell's in there. Well, I don't know what she's doing, but she has the creature. She's got the disc. We have to tell the doctor.
Not so fast. This sounds serious. We'd better check first.
What's there to check?
Stop her before she escapes.
You came back.
Yes, but I'm not alone. You're in big trouble.
I don't think so. Someone's in big trouble, but it's not me.
What are you...
Make sure she doesn't get away again, Stengard.
Stengard? Oh, terrific.
Just keep quiet. Have you got what you wanted, Beth?
Not yet, but we're close.
The first broadcast is in less than an hour.
And then, with Vistine Crane's endorsement, we can begin campaigning in earnest. Though Crane will do most of the work for us. What do you think of that, Crane?
The truth will out. The truth is everything.
You've got it trapped in there. Why can't it escape?
What happened?
It's safe so long as there's no audio output, no actual sound being played. This is a simulation, a copy.
So this is it? You're going through with this?
What's it doing?
Yes, I am.
It's replaying what happened. That's when I called
hope you
him.
understand, my friend.
Oh, yes. Yes, I understand. I wish you'd think about it.
Sorry.
So am I.
Beth. Beth. There's a gun at my head.
Do you feel better for that? A cathartic experience, no doubt. Enjoy it while you can.
You're mad. Let me out of here.
Stay where you are.
I said let me
go. Don't touch
That's
that.
the audio output control.
Free again.
Turn it off.
You're too late. It's got out.
Not the only one.
Free to continue, free to go on, free to kill.
You've driven it mad. It's insane.
Get out of here, Stengard. Leave the girl. Just set the link up. We have to make the broadcast.
Kill.
Well, I think that's about everything.
Doctor!
Fascinating, Curator.
Yes, an excellent tour. Ah, there you are, Perry. Been having fun?
Fun? Hardly.
I was worried about you, Mr. Napton.
I'm fine. Just tired.
And how is the research going?
Well, I'll show you I'll read my notes to you. Soon.
This is Curator Gantman.
Listen, Gantman, Perry says that the creature is free again, and Purnell is about to broadcast Crane's candidature speech.
What do you want me to do, Doctor?
It's essential we discover what's going on. The speech is a fake. We're sure of that.
A fake?
Purnell got Dent and Fothergill to fake Crane's speech. We need to know if Crane has changed it back to what he originally wanted to say. Has he altered it from what Purnell intends to broadcast?
Everything's set here. 4 minutes till the broadcast.
You've checked the file?
It hasn't been changed. It's just as Den copied it into the archive.
So, Vistine Crane has played his last card and lost. Just a few minutes now. Just a few more minutes.
You're sure?
Quite sure, Doctor. The speech is unchanged.
Is that good?
I don't know. It's worrying. Crane knows the speech is a fake. Well, why wouldn't he change it? Unless...
Maybe it didn't know. Not until Purnell tortured it.
And now it's gone mad. It's not up to making any changes.
Possibly, but what if... What if it wants the broadcast to go ahead?
The creature can conceal itself inside any sound. Doctor, it could be hiding inside the speech.
Yes, Perry.
And if the speech is broadcast, it will escape.
More than that, it can't copy itself.
Because there'd just be a copy of the sound it was making.
But a broadcast is different. The creature will manifest a version of itself everywhere that the broadcast is received.
You mean there'll be millions of versions of it called into existence?
And all mad.
Homicidal. That's exactly what I mean. Purnell! Purnell, can you hear me? You have to stop the broadcast, Purnell.
No chance, Doctor. In just 2 minutes, the late, great Vistine Crane will endorse me as the bearer of his ideals and the arch-proponent of his policies.
But the creature is...
The creature is irrelevant. A poor, pathetic, broken...
It's neither poor nor pathetic, Pernell. You have to... Pernell? Pernell! Oh, the arrogant fool. We have to stop the broadcast.
Which means getting to the broadcast room.
Oh, that would take too long. I can stop it from the sound gallery she's in. Wait here. I'll be quicker alone.
But, Doctor, the creature's out there somewhere.
Nonsense. It'll be hiding in the speech by now.
But what if it isn't? What if it waits till the broadcast starts?
I'll worry about that when it happens.
Candidature speech file queued and ready. Broadcast will commence in 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Just over a minute. I shall have to start taking some exercise. Oh, don't like the sound of that. I know what you're up to, Crane, and I'm going to stop you. Stop you! Stop you!
You're too late, Doctor.
Broadcast will commence in 50
You won't succeed. I'll stop you. You shan't escape.
Broadcast will commence in 50
Ah!
seconds.
The noise. It's got to keep going. Got to.
Broadcast will commence in 45 seconds.
Got to get to Pernell. Got to stop. To stop.
Broadcast will commence in 40 seconds.
Too late, Doctor. No! Succeed! I'll stop you! You shan't escape!
Broadcast will commence.
Ah! The noise! It's got to keep going. Got to.
Broadcast will commence in 45 seconds.
Got to get to Pernell. Got to stop. To stop.
Broadcast will commence in 40 seconds.
Too late, Doctor! No! What you're doing, Crane. It's not just your escape. Think about what Pernell will achieve. Think. What do you mean?
Broadcast will commence.
I mean that if Pernell broadcasts, she'll get elected. You want that? Escape. I have to escape. And Pernell will become president with your endorsement, your backing.
Fate?
But people will believe it's you. It will be your fault. Vistine Crane, the greatest actor of the age, perhaps the greatest politician. Come to this. Come to this. Stop her!
Broadcast will commence in 20 seconds.
Thank you.
Ah, Doctor, you're just in time.
Broadcast will commence in 20 seconds.
You have to stop this, Pernell.
Get away from the controls. Doctor, stand back or I shoot.
On the studio announcement of broadcast.
All right, Miss Pernell. You win.
Broadcast will commence in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to the first in our
I'm glad you've seen
commemorative
sense,
series of
Doctor.
speeches given
It's not
by the
my
late,
sense that's in doubt.
incomparable and
Are people really going to fall for this? I mean, really?
Wait till you hear the speech. It will be very convincing.
Ah, but you forget, the file's been available in the sound suite for a while.
I could already know the exact words of the speech.
How come we can hear them?
Every syllable, Every nuance, every inflection.
He has turned on the
care,
intercom.
Doctor?
But why? What's he trying to tell us?
Join in and say the words as well. Exactly as Crane does.
That's it. Don't you see? We have the file of the speech.
So?
So we know exactly what the creature will sound like when it hides.
Of course, and we can generate a cancellation wave from the file.
Can we?
We'll have to be quick.
Without further ado, let us sit back and listen to the words of the great vision.
Hurry up, Gantman.
Have you done it?
My friends, I have made no secret of my opinions of the current administration. I have made no secret of my own plans. And I have made no secret of why we are here today and what I have to say.
Oh, I hope it gets
I
better.
have, however,
Be
kept
quiet.
one thing secret. I have held back, until now, the source of my inspiration, of my vision. Until now, I have not spoken of the immense debt of gratitude I owe to my good friend and colleague, Beth Purnell.
Oh, please. Who writes your material? And canned applause?
Save your sarcasm, Doctor.
Without Beth Purnell, it is no exaggeration to say that you would not be listening to me now.
Well, that bit's true. All right. All right. It's very good, really. Lots of sound and fury.
Behind my candidature. Because here, today, with Beth's blessing, I announce my candidature for the position of your president.
A bit bombastic.
Together, we can
I shan't tell you again, Doctor.
What is the audio broadcast output reading on the main console?
Audio broadcast output. Ah, this one. It's a flat wave.
Silence.
Then we've done it.
Stop poking me in the ribs. I bruised for a week. Never mind the fact you're creasing my jacket.
This is your last warning, Doctor.
I said stop it.
Doctor! Come back, Doctor!
What's happening? Is he all right?
Doctor! Open this door, Doctor! Yes?
Purnell, I've been trying to get through. There's no sound. Nothing's being broadcast.
What?
The studio's going spare. They've got an announcer and some so-called experts covering. But we have to sort this out. And quick, or they'll chop us. I don't know what's happening, but we're just broadcasting silence.
The Doctor.
Well done, everyone.
I inserted the cancellation wave between Stengard's equipment and the broadcast output.
They won't be full for long.
Stengard, what's going on?
The file was playing, but with no broadcast sound. Just a flat wave.
What's he done? What's he done?
Are you talking about me? It's called wave cancellation.
You may have slowed me down, Doctor, but that's all. I promise you that.
Promises, promises. Political promises, are they, Miss Purnell? The sort that can just be forgotten, swept aside once you're in power.
Election is a mandate to govern for the people.
It isn't a carte blanche. If you're elected on a particular manifesto, it behoves you to stick to it. You can't just throw away the will of the electorate and decide that you know best. Particularly since you're running your whole campaign on a false premise, on a fraud.
Is this the time for political debate, Doctor?
Doctor, for all your prattling and
It might slow her down and give us time to think. She'll try again soon. Gantman, is there any way we can block her broadcast from here?
Oh no, Doctor, we'd have to get to Stengard.
Purnell has a gun. What's the betting Stengard has as well?
Someone who will not balk at the unpopularity. We can rebuild our society, Doctor. But not without pain. Not without blood, not without tears, and I'm the only one that can do it.
That's for the people to decide. That's what democracy's about.
Democracy? An outdated, unworkable system that disperses power so thinly it hardly exists. A morally justifiable way of doing nothing. Procrastination made politic.
All set. I've linked the file through directly, so there'll be no interference.
You hear that, Doctor? You've lost. You and that creature. You've had your shot and missed.
The creature was nothing to do with me, Purnell. But maybe it was closer to my morals than I thought. Maybe it's a shame that it's dead. Dead?
Are you sure?
It was hidden in your broadcast. Well, that's why we inserted the cancellation wave. Don't tell me you were arrogant enough to think that was all for your benefit. The creature is dead, Purnell. So without the threat of what Crane had become, why don't we talk about things sensibly?
Crane couldn't stop me when he was alive, Doctor. Calling on his memory won't stop me now.
You've done me a favor, Doctor. But don't expect any gratitude.
Oh, I'm not listening to any more of that rubbish.
Well, what did she mean that Crane couldn't stop her when he was alive?
Something to do with the candidature speech, perhaps?
Or Crane's death?
I heard it.
What?
Crane's suicide. I heard him shoot himself. The creature replayed it like a recording.
Well, that could be important, Perry. When did you hear it? So, not dead after all.
So this is it?
Is this
You're
what you
going
heard,
through with
Perry?
this?
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm sorry.
Yes, Doctor.
I hope you understand, my friend.
Can you record this, Captain?
Yes, I understand. I wish you think about it. So am I.
Beth. Beth. There's a gun at my head.
What are you trying to tell us? Are we supposed to work out something from that?
There's nothing, Doctor. It's gone.
Did you get it?
Well, some of it.
Crane shot himself. Purnell tried to talk him out of it, but...
Well, it certainly sounded like it. Play back what you have, will you?
Understand? I wish you think about it. So am I.
Beth. Beth. There's a gun at my head.
He's operating the sound suite controls.
Seems clear enough. He's talking to Purnell, tells her he's going to shoot himself, and then goes into his machinery or whatever before pulling the trigger.
No, there's something... May I? Let's replay the last few seconds.
Beth. There's a gun at my head.
It's a strange thing to say.
That noise again. If he hadn't shot himself, what would you guess they were talking about? What would you say Purnell was trying to talk Crane out of?
Not suicide.
His speech. Denouncing Purnell.
Exactly. That's what he was going through with.
And when he said there's a gun at my head...
He meant exactly that. Someone was pointing a gun at his head. Probably from behind.
Not Purnell. She was on the phone.
Let's play the last moments again.
Beth. There's a gun at my head.
That wasn't suicide. It was murder. Play that bit again. That's not a mechanical sound, it's a person. And we all know who makes that sound.
Stengard.
And Stengard works for Purnell.
Napton, I must warn Napton.
Ganman, wait! We should... Oh.
Hello? Who's there?
Error code 779.
What?
Do you require more information?
So this thing has an audio help system. Crane thought of everything.
Do you require more information?
Yes.
Museum main security systems have bypassed local control. Crane speech file no longer accessible.
Damn you, Doctor. How have you managed that?
Sound suite help system unable to answer your question.
Never mind. How do I regain access to the file?
Help system suggests electronic bypass of local security systems.
That's not possible, surely.
Do you want re-engineering instructions for security bypass?
Yes. What do I do?
Disconnect main power supply from preamp and security cutouts. Reconnect main power supply direct to playback facility. Other instructions will follow.
You're joking. I'm not messing with the main power supply.
Main power supply disabled. Now running on auxiliary systems. No danger. Repeat. No danger.
All right. Let's try it. I've never heard of doing it this way. Are you sure there's no power in this cable?
No power.
Good. I wouldn't want to wrench out a live cable.
I wouldn't have said this was designed to be pulled out. Still, what have I got to lose?
Nothing, Steingard.
What?
Nothing except your life.
Oh God! It's live!
Accept your life. Steingard? Steingard, are you there?
Maybe he's gone. Vermoosed.
In which case, there's nothing to stop us intercepting the broadcast.
Come on then.
Hello? Hello? Who's there?
It's me.
Ah, Mr. Napton, thank goodness. I thought...
Be careful. There's a body just in front of you.
Body?
Stengard. I found him just now. I heard a noise. He's dead. Electrocuted himself by the look of it. There's a live cable that's pulled loose.
Computer, disconnect power to the sound suite systems. Are you all right, Mr. Napton? I was worried.
I'm fine. And I'm glad you're here. I wanted to say goodbye. I have to leave soon.
You finished your research?
Oh, yes. I'm finished here now.
Gannon! Gannon, is that you? Ah, there you are. Stengard.
He's dead. Electrocuted himself. Mr. Napton was telling me.
Napton?
Tell them, my friend. Tell them what happened.
I don't understand.
Are you all right, Curator?
Oh, of course I'm all right. Tell them, Mr. Napton.
Mr. Gantman?
Yes.
There's nobody here. Apart from us, the room is empty.
But I was just talking to him. When you came in,
So where did he go?
Go? He didn't go anywhere. He's still here. Aren't you, Napton? Or should I say, Vistine Crane?
Napton is Crane. You were talking to the creature?
I think creature is a rather harsh description.
So it is true.
Yes, my friend. I am sorry for the deception. I owe you a debt of thanks. And the doctor also.
Oh, really?
Indeed, Doctor. I was hurt, injured. But the smoothing wave you inserted into the broadcast had a healing effect. It did not destroy me, but it did smooth my excesses, calm my anguish and anger.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Much better, Doctor. Much, much better.
Good. Because I need your help.
Come on. I need the broadcast link before the studio cuts us off.
Broadcast link.
Thank you.
Pernell!
At last.
Pernell! Are you in there? Open this door!
You've changed your tune, Doctor. Come to hear my moment of glory.
No, to give you one last chance to stop this madness.
Madness. This is the only sane way out of the weakness our pathetic leaders have inflicted upon us.
Letting people choose is not a weakness.
Tell that to the starving, to the homeless. Tell that to the dying.
There's nothing I can say.
Nothing.
Then I'm sorry.
Sorry.
My friends,
This is my finest hour.
I have made no secret of my opinions of the current administration. I have made no secret of my own plans. And
Crane is dead, and you can't stop me now. My victory is complete.
today and what I have to say. I have, however, kept one thing secret. I have held back, until now, the source of my inspiration, of my vision and drive. Without Beth Purnell, it is no exaggeration to say that you would not be listening to me now. Hers is a motivation behind my candidature. It is a vision and drive that, like you, I find utterly abhorrent.
What have you done?
Your finest hour, I think you said.
People like Beth Purnell that I stand before you today to announce my candidature for the position of your president.
Stop it. Stop the broadcast. Stengard, stop the fire playing. Stengard, can you hear me?
Stengard isn't there. And he couldn't stop it anyway. It isn't a file that's playing.
Crane.
Yes.
clever how you can modulate a sound wave so there's more than one voice, isn't it? Like having a multi-track mind.
Doctor, you have to stop it. Please. We need a strong hand, not more liberal democratic posturing and pragmatism.
A strong hand that you can bring.
Exactly.
At the expense of freedom. Freedom of speech, association, thought.
We've all seen where they get us, Doctor. It's time for a change. Time to take control.
And that's why you altered Crane's speeches. That's how you justify lying to the people you want to elect you as their leader, as their moral guardian.
It's worth any cost, Doctor, any cost.
Even my life.
So this is it. You're going through with the speech.
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I hope you understand, my friend.
Oh, yes. Yes, I understand. I wish you'd think about it.
Sorry.
So am I.
Beth, your man has a gun at my head.
That's not what happened.
Isn't it? That's not how it sounded, but it's what happened. We've just clarified it, removed any ambiguity.
You're playing with words, Doctor.
And I thought that was your province. So, was it worth it? Was it worth the deaths of Fothergill and Dent of Stengard?
Any cost.
Even having Vistine Crane killed when he was about to denounce you?
Yes, that above all. Crane had to die. That was the only way. He would have set us back years pandering to the people. It was a small price to pay.
A small price? A man's life is a small price?
Yes!
Then yours is not a world in which I would want to live. Whatever you think you can achieve, Purnell, it isn't worth it.
And it will never happen now.
You haven't defeated me. People are fickle, they will forget. Crane had to die. That was the only way. It was a small price. What's happening?
Condemned out of your own mouth. I think you'll be in the political wilderness for quite a while.
You were broadcasting us?
And that's assuming you ever get out of jail. If Barclay gets his skates on, this could be the first arrest broadcast live to the nation.
Doctor, you'll pay for this.
Are you threatening me? In front of how many million witnesses?
Why? Beth Purnell.
Well, you got your murderer.
If I can find her.
Oh, don't worry. Where can she go?
No one will listen to her for a while. But people like that always find a way in time.
Yes, well, it's time now for us to say goodbye.
Oh, do you have to leave so soon?
We can't stay. The doctor's clothes are too loud for this museum.
What will you do, Crane?
Why, I shall stay here. I'm in a unique position to help curator Gantman.
An excellent idea. We'll drop by in a few years to see how... hear how you're getting along.
I'll take you back into town.
Actually, if you could take us back to where you first found us, that would be a help.
Well, if you say so.
Don't worry about it.
Curator Gantman, did you...
The message? Oh, yes, it's ready.
Good. Now you hear me?
Purnell was right about one thing.
What was that thing?
It's what you say that's important, not how loudly you say it. Could be a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, but signifying nothing.
I'm glad you've learned that at last, Doctor.
Me? Me? You're the one that needs to learn how to speak properly. Here we are.
What's that?
That is proof that it's not where you go that's important. It's how you get there. Come on, Perry.
So long. It's been real.
So long? So long? Oh, what sort of language is that? Proof, if proof were needed, I think. Goodbye.
Oh, goodbye.
So long? Oh, it's time you learn to speak in decent English. I am not shouting.
Now I've heard everything.
computer. Activate car door and start the engine. It'll take planning, but I'll get back. Back to power. I just need time. People I can count on. Computer mailbox. Any messages?
You have 23 messages. Most recent first. They are from Hans Stengard, Catherine Sullivan, Emmanuel Gethsemane.
Stengard? I thought... What's the message from Stengard?
Voice message received at 1827 today. Message is...
A small price to pay. Goodbye, Beth Purnell.
And now, a new 4-part adventure starring Peter Davison in Doctor Who.
Just look at that.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it? Wide open ice fields stretching out for hundreds of miles.
What's the name of this planet?
I'm afraid it's Earth again, actually, Nissa. A place called Alaska.
Oh, is that near where we left Tegan?
Oh, no. We're a long way from Heathrow. Alaska is the stepping stone between America and Asia, two of Earth's largest continents.
And where are the people? Doctor, I can't see any dwellings.
We're probably too far north. It's not the most hospitable of environments, but rich in natural resources like oil. While natives have lived off the land for thousands of years, Tegan's people have only really been interested in Alaska for commercial or strategic. Interesting.
What is?
Energy reading of some kind. The kind the TARDIS can't recognize, but seems receptive to. Now, why should we start picking up some random emission like...
Doctor, that looks like smoke rising up from there.
Too much to come from a cozy fire up the chimney. If only the panning controls were working, we could look down and see what's happening. And if only the audio circuits were more reliable, perhaps we could hear something of what's going on.
Doctor!
Close.
What was it?
A plane. Not the type you'd find Tegan stewardessing on, some kind of light aircraft. Privately chartered, I'd imagine. The pilot clearly wasn't looking where he was going.
I don't suppose he was expecting a large blue box to be hovering in mid-air over Alaska.
Yes, well... Still, if we didn't expect the unexpected, whatever would become of us?
You've been telling me that paneling would be here tomorrow for 3 weeks now.
Look, tomorrow, okay? Definitely tomorrow. You've got my word on that,
Your
okay?
word as a gentleman or an incompetent? I'm not inclined to believe either anymore. Go on, get out of it. God knows, it would be quicker to go back to England and get it myself. Oh, God, if only. Ah, Mr. Brett, good afternoon.
Monica?
Remind me, we are in the wilds of the north, aren't we, rather than the wild west? Because I've never encountered so many cowboys.
Perhaps we should discuss this somewhere a little more private.
I mean, can even you really be so rich as to throw away your cash on idiots like these?
Monica, you know the problems we've been having getting hold of our more specialist materials. Persist in terrifying our suppliers like that and they'll never deliver anything.
We'd be hard-pressed to notice the difference. I mean, 3 weeks, for God's sake? This job's taken 3 years of my life from me, knocked another 20 off in stress, and still the delays go on.
Monica, I appreciate you're a little exasperated with conditions here, but since we're in the land of the midnight sun, perhaps you could let a little of it filter through to brighten your disposition. Why you even insist on remaining baffles me. Your plans have been worked to quite accurately. Gaborik is perfectly capable of chivying the work along in your absence. You've not had a proper break for 6 months now. Are all interior designers so strict with themselves?
All right, sorry. Strop over. It's just... I don't know, this place, there's something about it.
The area holds a particular charm, I agree.
It's not that. I can't wait to get back to grass stains, hay fever and gnat bites, believe me.
Well, Monica, 4 more months and the entire installation will be more or less complete. The work mustn't suffer. I keep telling you, take a break now and return for the final stages.
Take a break and do what? I've abandoned all pretense at having anything even approaching a life for so long now. I can't start picking up the pieces back home until this project is over.
I'll have it your own way. In the meantime, I'll get Gaborik to double-check those supply dates. We're so close now. So close.
Curiouser and curiouser.
We've landed.
Yeah, same area, different time.
1994. Doctor, your energy reading is still registering.
Let me see.
We've moved forward about 30 years.
Almost as if the TARDIS was following a scent. These readings suggest the emissions decayed to trace levels soon after we left.
But are increasing quite significantly now.
Yes. Well, but what kind of energy is it, I wonder? Hard to tell if it really is a power source the TARDIS can't identify, or if...
The TARDIS simply isn't functioning properly.
It's an outside chance, I suppose. Speaking of outside, you better go and get yourself a warm coat. Oh, and pick up the handheld tracker from the toolbox, could you? We'll need it to trace the source of the emissions.
Is that necessary?
It's best to check. Besides, aren't you at all curious?
Gaborik, wait up.
Mr. Brett wants me to check delivery dates for the furs before he goes.
You've been speaking to Johnny Oldman up at Bethel, haven't you? Filling his head with garbage.
Something is the matter?
You know damn well there is. He'd agreed to the sale. Now he's not letting us access his jetty to take away the Earth. He's already sold us.
Perhaps he has changed his mind.
Perhaps. You changed it for him.
He talked to me, sure, but why would I tell him stories? Brett's money feeds my family just as it does you.
Precisely. And when this place is finished, that money dries up, doesn't it? Huh? Brett will discard you along with everyone else. Ever since he made you his personal assistant, you've been stirring things up behind his back.
You do not understand, Tulung. Because you see the world with one Koyokan eye and one that is American. Your kind will never understand my people.
You are acting for yourself in this, not our people.
Johnny Oldman will act as he will. I have not turned him against you.
Brett knows about the bad feeling you tried to spread in the Koyokan about this house. It amuses him, you understand that? He doesn't really care. It's a hindrance, sure, but he knows he'll win in the end. It amuses him to think that you, the Koyokan, could ever stand in his way.
If that is true. And as your job here is to run between him and my people, finding ways to make everyone happy, at whose expense is he really gaining his amusement?
You know, it was Peter the Great that believed there was a part of America beyond Siberia.
These place names don't mean anything to me, Doctor.
So he sent explorers here. It took them more or less 8 years to reach Alaska, and the captain would only allow his crew 10 hours ashore before turning back.
The readings are increasing a fraction. I think we're heading the right way.
And you know what they found in those 10 hours? A blue jay. A bird they knew lived only in America. Proof positive that Peter the Great was right.
Is that a jay there?
No, that looks like a raven. Of course, the raven is the creator god in the beliefs of the Koyakan people, the descendants of the original settlers who came here more than 12,000 years ago.
Doctor, shh. What's that?
What's what?
I heard something. Like there's something out here. Watching us.
Probably a wayward blue jay wondering why his ears were burning. Come on. Well, look at that. I'll bet that's not been built by the locals.
It's a remarkable building.
And not entirely finished yet, if that scaffolding's anything to go by. But impressive nonetheless. I wonder if they'd give us a guided tour.
Perhaps you can ask. The tracker's indicating we head towards it.
Why am I not entirely surprised at that?
Will we get there by nightfall, do you think?
Perhaps. You know, in summer here, the sun never sets. Of course, Alaska is so named from the Aleutian word Alaska, meaning the Great Land.
Johnny Old Man could be talked around, Brett. Give me time with him. Brett?
There was a time when I didn't mind the endless wrestling with the Koyokon. I almost welcomed the setbacks. Each was something to be overcome, something to feel good about. Each little victory another step closer.
But now you worry you're too close.
You know me better than anyone, don't you, little Tulung? Always so very dependable. I'm tired. It's taken so much to make this place happen.
You worry what's gonna happen to you when it's over.
And what will become of you, little Tulung?
Well, my work here will be done, but I still belong. I'll always have my place here with the Koyakong.
Oh, well said. But not really all that convincing. Look at you standing there. Even now you feel the mixed blood that flows through your veins pulling you this way and that. No peace, only conflict. But you don't belong to the Koyokon. You don't even belong to the white man. You belong to me. You feel that deep down, don't you? Little Tulung.
I do wish you had a brighter torch.
Batteries must be wearing down a little. Well, at least it's doubtful we'll step in anything unpleasant out here.
It's there again. That sound.
Yes. We better keep moving. This track must lead direct to that building, and if it stays clear, then...
Doctor!
Yes, so get behind me. Now back away.
It's so massive. Is it native to Alaska?
I'm not convinced it's even native to Earth.
Can you understand us? We mean you no harm.
I'm not sure it can say the same.
Doctor, that must be another one behind us. It's been tracking us.
Or hunting us. Trapped.
Can we outrun them, do you think?
We'll have to take that chance. I'll flash the torch at it, try to keep its attention, circle behind it, but keep well clear. Make for the building.
What about you?
If I'm not right behind you, see if you can get help. Now, quickly! Now then, let's try and shed a little light on you, shall we? You and your friend here. What big teeth you have. Perhaps it's not such a shame the torch isn't stronger.
Doctor! Doctor, it's after me!
Well, its friend here focuses on me. If I could just overtake on the inside. Come on, Nissa, quickly, run!
What? Oh, hello, Tulung. Don't tread in that paint, it costs a fortune. Everything okay?
Yeah, thank you, Miss Lewis.
You don't seem entirely sure.
It's Brett.
Isn't it always?
He seems more distant than ever.
Does he? Seems pretty much his usual charming self, knowing what's best for everyone. Poor little rich boy slumming it with us commoners just to get what he wants. God knows what he'll be like when we're finished up here and he has to face up to reality by himself. What's bothering you?
It's probably nothing. I mean, he's just been... It's like something's changed in him. He's even harder, darker, somehow.
Well, I don't recall him ever being that big a barrel of laughs, do you?
Perhaps it's me. I take so much from him in the general run of things anyway that I barely notice the aggression. And then he goes and ups it all a notch and I have to adjust. I'll get used to it.
You don't have to get used to it. There's still a doorway in the front of this place, you know. I'm an expert, trust me. They're there to be walked through.
No. Not yet.
Seems we're all stuck here together. Just can't bear to leave the place, can we? Hell, what's that?
That door you were just talking about, I think. I'll go see what's up. Although, you said you're the expert. Perhaps you should go.
Mind the paintings on your way out, Chulung.
Sorry.
And don't let whoever it is knock that door down. It'll take weeks to get a new one delivered.
What is this? What do you want?
To come in. Thank you.
Who are you? What do you want?
We're visitors. So sorry to drop by unannounced.
We were attacked. Something out there.
Attacked?
Yes.
What something? What was it?
There's no time to explain now. We need flashlights. It may well be coming this way.
Your clothes.
Quite striking, aren't they? Now, please, you must listen. Something very large and aggressive was lurking out there on the track. I don't suppose you know anything about it.
Strangers?
Only until we're introduced. I'm the doctor. This is my friend Nissa. And as I was saying to your friend here, Mr.
You must leave here. This is private property.
You can't just throw us out to face that thing.
You have no business here.
You have no business yourself, Gabrick. Throwing out these people to the night. It is for Mr. Brett to decide, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. Good old Mr. Brett.
Fetch him, Gabrick. I'll watch them.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
My name is Chulung. Are you lost?
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
We know this is Alaska.
Well, welcome to Kayatsk.
I'm sure Mr. Brett will be absolutely delighted to see us, but we may find some rather less well-mannered guests stopping by for dinner if whatever's out there is still following us. We need to, What a terribly lavish reception area. Not very homely, though, is it? More like a museum foyer than an entrance hall. No coat stand.
Doctor?
Yes, so what's wrong?
I'm not sure. My head, it's tingling.
Please, sit down here. You've been running?
Yes.
Perhaps the exertion and the change of temperature.
Well, Nissa?
I'm fine, really. Please, Doctor, we must find out what that thing was.
Yes, you're quite right. So, Mr. Chulung, this is an impressive building. Do you have equally impressive floodlights for the grounds?
I'll switch them on.
Splendid. If one of those creatures has followed us, at least we should be able to see what we're up against.
Be careful, Doctor. The readings are clearer here, look.
Interesting. Whatever it is, we must be right on top of it. Lead on, Mr. Chulung. No, not a sign. Perhaps they don't like the light.
Perhaps. And you've seen nothing like these animals before?
No, I don't believe I have.
I shall leave the lights on.
Good idea. In the morning we can hunt for tracks.
In the morning? You mean to stay here?
I might prevail upon the good nature of our host, yes.
I see.
Our transport isn't, always that reliable, and given our recent experience out there...
Well?
Nothing.
I can't say I'm not relieved.
How are you feeling?
Better, thank you.
Mr. Brett invites you to the drawing room.
How very pleasant of him.
Take them there, Chulung. I have business to attend to.
I don't think your friend likes us much.
Gabrick doesn't like anyone, and few care for him in return. He holds little respect for the ways of our people, unless it suits him. But come, we'll be more comfortable in the drawing room.
Well, this is cozy. Thank you, Chulung. It's a large house. Do you stay here too?
Yeah, sometimes. There are many guest rooms in the annex here, but I have lodgings at Pan Mansville a few miles away. I prefer it there.
This room, the furnishings, the whole style of it is so different to the hall downstairs. Still, it doesn't feel much like a home.
It was never intended to be. Home is where the heart is. There's no heart in this place, only shadows. Brett had it built from nothing.
He likes the area?
It's made him a rich man. He's a millionaire a dozen times over now, thanks to Alaskan oil. But, yeah, the area has a special significance.
The site itself, there's something unusual about it.
His father died not far from here. Same place my own dad died.
I'm so sorry.
I take it that's Brett Sr. hanging up above the mantelpiece there.
Yeah, that's right. This place is far more than just somewhere to stay. It's a monument, a kind of mausoleum, if you like. A tribute to Brett's father and his all-consuming passion for the land and its secrets.
He was an archaeologist?
It was his hobby. He used to joke that he'd dig up Alaska any way he could. But for my father, he was a professional. These lands are rich in fossils, buried deep in the permafrost. My father was from Colorado, but he spent much of his life out here. It wasn't easy, especially after he married a Koyukin. We moved about all over the state when I was a kid, always chasing more funding. Another dig.
And that's how you and Mr. Brett first met?
Yeah, and how my father died. What Brett's father lacked in knowledge and ability, he made up for in cash. He funded the digs, but he made damn sure everyone knew who was calling the shots. That's one trait he passed on to his son.
An admirable trait, in my view. Everyone knows so clearly where they stand, don't they, little Tulum?
How do you do? I'm the doctor.
Sean Brett. And you, my dear?
My name is Nissa. Thank you for your hospitality.
Oh, it's a most delightful pleasure for me to have company. This is such a solitary place. How came you to be here in Kayutsk? You're dressed for a game of cricket, I see.
Yes. Sadly called off, due to snow, apparently.
My assistant says you were pursued out there.
Something like that. Tell me, do you know this area well?
I do.
He's hoarding great chunks of it downstairs.
I am cherishing this area, shall we say.
So you notice anything unusual about it?
Would you care to be shown around downstairs, Doctor, to experience a little of the landscape?
I'm sorry?
Do join me, please. And you, Miss Nissa?
Nissa?
My head, neck. I'm sorry, I think I'll stay here.
I'll wait with you.
Do so, little Tulum. Will not be long.
Doctor, what about the tracker, the energy readings?
That's exactly why I think I should take a look around. Lead on, Mr. Brett.
Little Tulum.
He seems a very cold man.
My mother used to say he carries the chill of the lands with him. He's buried in him, like my father's buried out there.
Tulung, I know what it is to lose a father. To lose so much more than that. What happened?
There's not a lot to tell. I was 10, Brett was 12. It was 1964.
30 years ago. I'm sorry. Please, go on.
The dig was only a couple of miles from here. They'd found something. My father was excited, terribly excited. But there was a cave-in. Something went wrong, something Brett's father never ever talked about, not to anyone. But he was the only one who walked away from that dig alive.
And this is the stone room.
Everything's solid rock.
Naturally. Floor, walls, ceiling, furniture.
And all local materials?
The raw stuff of the area. What better to convey my father's admiration for the lands he embraced so warmly?
And what better than these lanterns to illuminate it all by? Terribly atmospheric.
Reverend Doctor.
I'm sorry, of course. So, a timber room, an earth room?
I have a room being progressed that will be fashioned purely from ice, garnered from the Arctic shores.
Chilly.
All aspects of the lands must be reflected, Doctor, for this to be a truly fitting monument. I use wholly natural resources or nothing at all.
And the Koyukin don't mind you carving up great chunks of their land?
Their Tulung is of use to me. He helps the Koyukin see I am respectful to their lands.
And Gaborik?
Further local colour. He is a somewhat political appointment, I must confess.
Useful in convincing the Koyukin that you can all work together.
Particularly when I'm paying them all so well for their contributions.
The age-old conflict, tradition and progress.
Here, I unite them, Doctor, under one roof. The twin watchwords of my father. He uncovered the past and made it his own.
But was it his to take?
And now, if you'd follow me, I shall show you my greatest achievement. My sea room.
Shame it's so cold. You'd always have somewhere to lay your beach towel.
Remarkable, isn't it? The house is actually built into the rock face. It forms the far wall there.
And is the rest of the landscape so genuine?
500,000 gallons of Arctic seawater and an actual stretch of coastline, all transplanted and reconstructed.
You even have your own virtual tides.
Keyed to the movement of our holographic moon. There's even sea life here. Seals, walruses.
Oh, I'm sure they appreciate it all, far more than the real thing. Perhaps that's why we can't see any of them today.
You don't approve, Doctor?
Oh, it's an extraordinary achievement, absolutely. It's only the context I question.
I can show you someone who would argue that's precisely the point. It's her vision and skill that has brought my dreams to fruition. Perhaps you'd like to meet her. Doctor, may I present Monica Lewis, a most gifted interior designer. Monica, this is my guest for the evening. Doctor...
How do you do?
I do fine, thank you, Doctor. A guest, eh? Can't remember when one of those last came to call.
I imagine you're a little cut off here.
Mind the paint.
It's a little dangerous piled up there, isn't it?
It's your friend from Health and Safety, Mr. Brett.
The doctor and his friend upstairs are travellers who ran into trouble.
We so often do. You're the architect of all this, I take it, Miss Lewis.
Amongst other things.
From England?
Right. You too?
Not exactly. You know, I'd say your larder here could use a good clean-out, Mr. Brett.
Not at all, Doctor. This is my bone room.
Isn't that taking your interest in natural materials a little far?
This house simply won't be complete without it.
Gruesome, isn't it? Gives me nightmares, to be honest. Still, it's a great opportunity. So little provokes a reaction these days.
And so little is sacred.
Your mentioning the larder has reminded me. It's dinner time, Doctor.
I seem to have lost my appetite.
Oh, come, Doctor. I insist you dine with me. You and your friend. You too, of course, Monica. We'll spend a pleasant while together.
All right, why not?
We'll say 8:30.
That was very nice, Gaborick. Thank you.
It certainly looked delicious. I'm sorry I wasn't very hungry.
Yes, thank you, Gabrick. Workmanlike as ever.
The flesh of the animal was wrong. The taste is not right.
Really?
Glad I'm vegetarian, then. I wouldn't know sea otter from sushi. Great salad, though, Gaborick.
It is what they are doing to the sea to get oil that spoils the taste.
Is it?
That's your parochial paranoia speaking again, Gabrick. I shan't allow you to sit at table again if you insist on being so discourteous to the traditions of my Western guests.
Mr. Brett.
Please, you shouldn't. There's really no need to.
You all right, Nissa?
I think so.
What do you think, Monica? Will these choice table leavings benefit our bone room? It will be a magnificent sight when finished. A shining white chamber, a cage of vertebrae and skulls, a testament to the ancient animal dead.
Please.
So squeamish, my dear.
She's not been well since we got here. Nissa, look at me. You may have a slight temperature.
I could use a little walkabout after all that food. Would you like to come along, Nissa?
Thank you. I think I might.
Probably just what you need.
Now, where were we?
You were trying to provoke Gabrick and myself into arguing yet again against your ghoulish vision. The Koyakan...
It's so sweet when you try and empathize with Gabrick's views.
Something stirring.
Maybe this walk wasn't such a good idea. Come on, let's get some sea air. Well, the next best thing. Might cool this fever down a little.
The sea. Something from the sea.
You're not well, are you? Tell you what, you just rest here. I'll go and tell your friend. He's a doctor.
Something from the sea.
get it, Brad. Animals need to be treated with respect, or they would not give themselves to the hunter.
Such tedious superstition.
It's not superstition. It's something that's evolved over thousands of years. The culture, the land, the animals. They can't be separated and packaged up the way you're doing.
Listen to your choice of words. Does that sound like a Koyokun to you, Gabrick?
I wouldn't really...
You're really trying too hard, you know, little Tulun.
I won't let you...
I really do think...
Doctor, I think you'd better take a look at... What the hell was that?
It came from below us.
That's the stone room.
Quickly!
The whole wall's cracked open. How can that have happened? It's impossible.
Well, it evidently has, my dear Monica.
I worked on this myself.
Then am I to blame your handiwork?
I wouldn't if I were you. We'll have to re-render the entire wall. Damn! How deep does
Wait, let me take a look.
What?
If something's caused that rock to break open...
Hold on. I can see something inside the split.
Careful! Yes, you're right. Where's Nissa?
Oh, she wasn't up to walking far. I left her resting in the sea room.
How about a fetcher? Touch nothing, any of you, until we're back. Nothing.
Cheek of the man.
We need better light in here. There's definitely something in the rock.
Let me see. Gabrick, fetch a stronger light, man.
The doctor said we should leave it.
It is bad, I sense it.
It looks to be some kind of fossil.
Nissa? Nissa, are you all right? The door seems to be stuck.
From the sea. It's so dark in here. So cold.
Nissa! Nissa, if you can hear me, come to the door.
Doctor, they're coming for me.
What's happening, Nissa?
Creatures. Born and reborn. They're all around me. They want to kill. Want to kill us all.
Nissa! Nissa? Nissa, are you all right? The door seems to be stuck.
From the sea. It's so dark in here. So cold.
Nissa! Nissa, if you can hear me, come to the door.
Doctor, they're coming for me.
What's happening, Nissa?
Creatures. Born and reborn. They're all around me. They want to kill. Want to kill us all.
Nissa!
What is happening?
Gabrick, help me, man. There's something wedged up against the door. Nissa's trapped inside.
Doctor!
What are they, Nissa?
Too dark.
Right. Together, come on. 1, 2. Quickly, come on again, it's giving!
One of them's blocking the door.
My leg! Watch out! Nissa, quickly squeeze through!
Oh, Doctor!
The door, Gabrick, help me! Nissa?
I'm all right now. They were the same as the creatures that attacked us outside.
Yes. Gabrick, what sea life has Brett been keeping in there?
Native animals. Walrus, sea otter, fur seal.
And there's no way in or out other than this door.
That is right.
But then that's it. I saw them. When the light spilled in as you opened the door.
Yes?
They're not natural. Each creature was composed of several living things. I saw eyes all over them. Giant teeth, blubbery skin.
The energy readings here. Enough to fuse flesh.
Doctor, they're in such pain. I could feel it.
And you felt they were hostile?
Yes.
She knows the creatures. She has communed with Sedna.
Sedna?
The sea spirit of my people from the distant time. The creatures of the sea were formed of her flesh, grown from the severed joints of her fingers. She was drowned, betrayed by her own father. She sank to the bottom of the sea, and she is there still, ruling over Adlivum.
Adlivum?
The land of the dead.
Yes, well, it's a lovely story, but it doesn't really explain how vivisection can occur spontaneously in freezing cold water.
It is true, Doctor. It is revenge for the bodies of the animals the woman Lewis uses as decoration. The spirits of these animals know what has become of them. Bad luck will follow, even death.
What were you doing here anyway?
Brett wanted me to fetch some lights to see inside the rock. No good will come of this.
Perhaps we better go and see.
Tulung knows the culture, the land, the people are one. Perhaps you will believe the same story from a respectable American.
That's a tailbone protruding, I'm sure of it. If we pull a little more of this rock away...
No, don't touch it.
You're very proprietorial, Doctor, considering this is my house.
Aren't I? Listen to me, Brett. Something's happening here that's placing us all in danger. Nissa was almost killed in your searoom.
What? Preposterous.
It's true.
What happened? Gabrick.
She saw Sednus Familius.
I saw something unnatural.
Our ancient spirits are stirring.
Nissa, come outside. I'll fetch you a drink to calm yourself and you can tell me.
Thank you, Tulung. Now, Gabrick's found us a torch that works. Let me have a look at this fissure.
Oh my God! Oh my God, what is that thing?
That's no fossil. It's alive. It's moving.
I think it's trying to pull itself out. Everyone back. If it holds its tail still for long enough, I can get a sample with this.
What is that?
A laser scalpel. Every home should have one. Or will have one. Come on now. Calm down for a moment. There.
What was that?
You must have hurt it. It felt that.
Ow, so did I. It's burning hot.
Doctor, what is it?
Another candidate for our energy field readings.
This has to be some kind of joke. Give it here. But it's just bone, isn't it? How can it be moving about?
I don't know, but I think we'd better find out. It seems to be held pretty tight in there, whatever it is.
Could the heat from its tail have caused that fissure in the rock?
Together with some other force.
I'm locking the door.
Very sensible. I'll just take a couple of samples of the rock while we're about it.
Mr. Brett, I must speak with you.
Can't it wait?
No, I must speak to you now.
Well, tell me on the way to the sea room. I want to witness the Doctor's new creatures for myself.
Be very careful.
Of course.
Gabrick's really rattled. Believes it's vengeance from the distant time.
And you?
No. No, it can't be. And there has to be another explanation, doesn't there?
An open mind. Excellent. I think we're in for a few surprises. Now, Nissa, this could be right up your street.
What?
Well, you're the bioelectronics expert.
Are you?
You think that might have some bearing on that bone creature?
Well, it might explain how ossified calcium can become an animated creature, some kind of bioelectric force.
Occurring naturally?
I don't know. I just don't know.
It could explain the emissions we picked up.
But could it explain the cell hybridization in the creatures in the searoom?
If that creature in the stone was regenerating itself in some way, that could have been a byproduct of the process.
But why?
I'm glad you two know what you're talking about.
Too many questions, it seems. Where can we find analyzing equipment in the Arctic Circle in the middle of the night?
The TARDIS?
You know the journey. It's quite a way, and we'd have to leave the road for a good deal of it. We don't know how many hybrids may be out there or understand how this happened to them.
I have some equipment. In porta-cabins a mile or so from here.
Really? What sort of equipment?
A spectroscope, I think. A lot of the stuff there's just for show. You know, some Kyokan relics and remains were dug up when the Earth Room was being made, and we set up a little camp there to study them.
No doubt your fathers would have approved.
Well, to be honest, we didn't do much with them, Miss Lewis. It was good PR to make a show of studying the relics and then returning them to the community.
Well, we must be a little more thorough with this. We better leave at once.
Is that wise?
I think you've got transport, you know.
Yeah, a 4x4 right outside.
And the creatures aren't fast. In a car or a cabin, we should be safe enough.
I will not stay.
We can't explain this yet. But surely, man, you're no savage. You can see it's nothing from your superstitions.
The Raven Father is angry. Denying his truth will not save you from his judgment. Adlevum is stirring, and I helped it to happen.
Oh, have it your own way, you witless savage. Go on. Go on, get out of here.
Gentlemen, perhaps we should calm ourselves,
It's not safe to go outside alone. The creature that hunted us will still be out there.
I will not stay here.
We're taking the 4x4 to the porta-cabins down near the Yatus Gabber.
Oh, are you?
Perhaps you could come.
You wish to use science. Science will not explain this.
I wish somebody would.
You strangers. You brought bad luck.
I hardly think...
You brought these creatures with you.
That's not true.
The little large to fit into our pockets, or hadn't you noticed?
The creature was in the rock gabric. How could they...
I will listen to no more of this. I am taking my belongings from this place.
Great. Pretend nothing's happening. That'll help.
He's scared.
He's not the only one.
I can't...
Are you all right?
Brett, you look unwell.
Let me see. Much the same as you were, Nissa. Slight fever.
I'm much better now.
I'm sure you'll be all right too, Mr. Brett. You should rest, Tulang.
I'll take him upstairs.
When I felt unwell, I felt like I was being called to.
Who by? What were they saying?
I don't know. It wasn't words. I just knew. Could that creature have affected us somehow?
A side effect of that energy force, perhaps. Or an intended influence.
Keep on